What's up, guys? I've had my first couple of sits this weekend and I gotta say it is a blast. I've missed hunting out of a tree, man, I tell you what. But today we are doing a video on platforms. So I have 3 different platforms here, 2 from the same company and 1 from a completely different company. But I wanted to share this to maybe help one of you guys out that's potentially getting into saddle hunting or just is looking for a new platform and kind of in the market, or you just watching YouTube. So what I got here today is going to be the RZR platform. So this is from Hunt Arsenal's. This is the 2.0 Magnum version. So this is their bigger version. I have the Latitude Profile. This is the regular version from Latitude Outdoors. And then I have the Latitude Outdoors Profile XL. So the Latitude Profile, this was literally the day they released this, their first gen. In their Gen 2, they have made a couple of modifications or improvements. So I've hunted out of all these platforms, and I gotta say they all have their unique, different characteristics. And depending on the situation, depends on which profile I will grab. Now, I am a kind of person, I like to have a little bit more foot room on my platform. A lot of times the smaller ones just isn't enough. I'm a bigger guy, so I like to have a little bit more room to turn around, to be able to take a shot from behind, or just have a little bit more room to be able to move around a little bit on my platform. So last year, getting the Profile, I hunted out of this 90% of the time. And then towards the end of the season is when I wanted a little bit more room and ended up going with the RZR 2.0 Magnum. And I gotta say, this one is just super lightweight. This is probably the lightest out of the bunch that I've ever used. And this thing, I mean, you put this on the back of your saddle as you're climbing up the tree, you can barely even tell that it's there. Easy way to attach to your saddle as well, versus these ones being a little bit more difficult to figure out how to carry up a tree. The Latitude Outdoors Profile platforms include a cam buckle in all of their sets when you order them. And this is probably my favorite way to attach the platform to the tree. It's super convenient, super easy, super fast. The Hunt Arsenal's RZR, they have an Amsteel rope, and there's a system where you loop it around, kind of like the SS sticks from Latitude, and that's how you attach the actual platform to the tree. I did not want to run that option, so what I ended up doing is just ordering another cam buckle from Tether and using that, and it worked out just fine. All 3 platforms do lock up very neatly and very nice to the tree. A lot of times I will take that cam buckle off and the platform literally stays attached to the tree, which is what we want when we're hunting out of a saddle. Let's talk some differences about the Latitude Outdoors and the Hunt Arsenal. So the Latitude Outdoors Profile platforms, they have an angled ledge here, and that helps a lot with foot fatigue, because when you're leaning back in that saddle, you're able to place your feet right here on this ledge, and it is just natural and comfortable, versus the Hunt Arsenal, you're kind of leaning on that ledge. There's not a lot of room for your foot to kind of rest on. So you are going to get a little bit more foot fatigue when you're using this platform or these types of platforms, which, depending on who you are, if you don't care about that and you're young and your feet are just in top-notch shape, this might not be an issue for you. I'm old, crusty, and I like to be comfortable, especially for those all-day sits. So that angled ledge is just really nice. It just eliminates that foot fatigue after, leaning against your platform for a long period of time. Now, you can eliminate that foot fatigue by angling your platform down a little bit and, putting your feet like this and having the platform angled, but I like to be able to sometimes stand directly on top of my platform to be able to turn around and glass behind me, or if there's something moving or coming up from behind me. And that is kind of difficult to do if your platform is kind of angled downward, because you will feel like you're sliding back or slipping off, whatever the case is. Now, texture on top of the platforms, all of them have a nice texture to be able to hold your feet into place. So it might not be an issue if this is angled and you're standing on there, but they grip very solid. You're not going to be sliding around on top of any of these platforms. But that angled ridge right here is my preferred method. It's just nice because I can just put my feet on here when I'm leaning back, and then when I need to stand straight up and be able to turn around on the actual platform, I have the option to do that. Now I ended up purchasing the XL because I did want a little bit more foot room without having to worry about slipping off the edge or kind of like fumbling and making a lot of noise and scaring deer off. So I ended up upgrading to the Profile XL, and this thing actually gave me tons of room to be able to just stand straight up, turn around, put my tether across my shoulder, and be able to take a shot from behind me or glass behind me. So another difference between these platforms is the adjustment, to be able to adjust your platform up or down. Latitude Outdoors has theirs exposed, which I actually really like, because you can actually adjust this with your foot. Just place your foot on here, twist it to the left or right to be able to angle your platform in whatever position that you prefer or would like. The Hunt Arsenal, I believe their new ones do have an exposed little knob, but this one right here, the older version, is hidden, and you will have to adjust this before you actually step up on the platform, or you'll have to step off of it to adjust it. But it is hidden in there, and it is kind of somewhat difficult to be able to adjust it to the proper angle. What I do like about the Hunt Arsenal platform is they include one of these little metal clips on the back, so you're able to just put this on your saddle in the back, and you're not worried about having to get something to be able to carry your platform if you do hang it from your saddle like I do. And this clip is very convenient. You just clip it on your back when it's folded up, and you can literally get up there. When you're ready to hang your platform, you can just unclip it, pull it, hang it, and you're all set. With the Latitude Outdoors Profile platforms, you do have to come up with some sort of way to carry this thing. And what I have here is just little buckles, male buckle ends, and then I have a female end on my actual saddle, and I can just clip this on and clip it off. This does bother me sometimes just because this thing is swinging on my saddle as I'm climbing up in the tree, and I've had this actually hit my sticks a couple times or other gear that I'm carrying, and it does make a little bit of noise. The Hunt Arsenal one is just a clips. It stays solid. It won't swing around. So, you know, if stealth is something that you prefer, then potentially the Hunt Arsenals might be a little bit better carrying up into a tree. But now let's talk about weight. So weight, there is a big weight difference with these platforms. Obviously, if you want a little bit more foot room, you're going to sacrifice that weight, because bigger is going to weigh a little bit more for obvious reasons. But I do have my scale here, so we're going to weigh all three of these platforms and give you an accurate reading on weight-wise. So first one up is going to be the Hunt Arsenal. That is coming in at 2 pounds, 13 ounces. Super lightweight. Like I said, I put this on the back of my saddle, and I can barely even tell that it is on my back. Next up, we're weighing the Profile regular platform from Latitude Outdoors. That one is coming in at 3 pounds, 9 ounces, so almost a pound heavier. And then last up, the heaviest of the bunch, the XL from Latitude Outdoors. And that one is coming in at 5 pounds, 1 ounce. So 5 pounds is a lot of weight, especially when you're hanging it off your saddle or hanging it off your belt, however you're going to carry it up the tree. So that is the weight difference between all of these platforms. And again, depending on who you are, what your purpose is, or what you want out of it is going to depend on which one is best suited for you. If I'm going in a long ways and I want something lightweight, super fast, super easy, I will take this Hunt Arsenals with me, throw it in my pack, and I'm able to carry this thing up a tree without having to carry extra weight. The Profile platform is a little bit heavier, so you're looking at a pound, give or take, difference. And this thing is, like I said, super small, very convenient also to pack in. But I want a little bit more foot room when I'm up in the tree, so that's why I ended up getting the Latitude XL. I'll take this guy with me if I'm hunting and my walk-in is less than 20 or 30 minutes. This guy usually will go with me. That is all I have for you today. I just figured I'd share my 3 different platforms that I utilize during bow season or just hunting season in general. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there. Go get yourself a big buck, and I'll see you guys in the next one.